Welcome to Monday Morning Coffee with the Coach on the Spartan Sports Network. And now, here's your host, Walt Fowler.
Thanks very much, Brad Sarno, voice of the Spartans. Well, joining us in this episode is head coach Matt Capel. Matt coaches both the men's and women's Spartans tennis team here in Sparkle. And Matt, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Walt. Appreciate you having me on the show.
All right, let's start with the women since they've had the bulk of events so far in September, and you're coming off a nice win over Malloy.
Thanks. We won on Saturday 5-2, first one of the season. We've struggled a little bit with some injuries early on, but we've really worked to get better every day, and it was a big one for the girls. Hopefully, we can string a couple of these together.
And who individually who played well?
We had two freshmen that won in doubles, Kiara Dittrich and Emily Myers, and then also another freshman, local Maya O'Brien, who won in her singles match. She actually won the clinching point. And then junior Katarina Lopez from New City, she won her first singles match in the third set.
So you mentioned a couple of local girls, but the roster not entirely local. You go overseas to get some of your players, yes?
Yeah, we have. It's pretty split. I think 4 and 4 internationals and American players. In the past it's been usually American players for the women's team, but since I've taken over, we've gone a little more with the international route. Do
they find you, or you go out and find them?
We work with a couple different agencies that help place people based on major and proximity to major cities. Obviously being so close to New York City is a major draw for us, and we actually get a lot of international student athletes because of that.
All right, and the women coming up next this week, you got playing at Roberts Wesleyan. What's the book on them? They're
very good. Their number one singles player advanced to the finals of the ITA regionals this year. They're always very strong. Tom Linhart is a good friend of mine. He always does a great job. This is his first year taking over the women. He's been the men's coach at Roberts for, I think, 15 years or so.
All right, let's talk about the men's tennis team now for the Spartans. They've got Jefferson, and they have a limited schedule in the fall, yes?
Yeah, our championship season for the men is in the spring. We typically do anywhere from 3 or 4 matches in the fall, but the way things worked out scheduling-wise this year, we were only able to get 1. We did just come back from the ITA regionals where the men's team did very well. We had 2 players transfer, Tim Fleerkamp from the Netherlands and a freshman, Marcel Volz from Germany, who advanced to the qualifying rounds and actually finished up in the second round of the main draw.
So what's the focus in the fall? It's obviously not as intense, or correct me if I'm wrong, not as intense as in the spring for the men's, or is it still, like high quality and everything's, you got to go out and get it done, or what's the mindset as far as fall tennis for the men?
Maybe not as intense in terms of frequency of matches, but we play a really good schedule every year. And Jefferson, which at the moment is our only match for the men, they're probably one of the stronger teams in the region. So the fall record counts into consideration for any rankings within the region, and those rankings are used to determine who make the NCAA tournament in the spring.
So every match is important?
Very important, yes.
Your own background, how did you get involved with tennis here? Because first you were coaching the men, and now you're coaching both men and women.
My mother was a collegiate tennis player, and so I've always grown up around the game. I'm not a great tennis player myself, but I do enjoy the team building aspect of it, and we've really concentrated on building competitive programs on both the men's and women's side.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, Matt, and good luck throughout the season, and we'll catch up with you as the season progresses.
Thanks, Walt. I appreciate it.
All right, that is men's and women's Spartans tennis coach Matt Capel joining us on Monday Morning Coffee with the Coach.